A British TV celebrity was accused of fat-shaming and cancelled by the Twitter mob for sharing a satirical meme. Anthea Turner attracted the wrath of the ideological jihadists by posting this image of an obese woman in a mobility scooter wearing a mask, lecturing a healthy person about health risks. Turner immediately began trending on Twitter for the precise reason that virtually anyone trends on Twitter these days, for being funny and or correct.
The cartoon wasn't clumsy, it was offensive. It was mocking a person in a wheelchair.
It's not a wheelchair, it's a mobility scooter. She was accused of engaging in ableism, because apparently eating so many cheeseburgers to the point where you can't physically walk using your own legs is now a disability. It's not a disability. For the vast majority of people, being fat is a bad lifestyle choice. A disability is an immutable condition, something that can't be controlled or changed. Eating 15 Big Mac meals a week isn't an immutable condition. To suggest that being fat is a disability is an insult to people suffering from real disabilities. Diabetes isn't a social justice movement. Dramatically increasing your risk of dying from heart disease or stroke isn't a form of activism. Being fat isn't a civil rights cause. I smoke. Where's the smoker positivity movement? Where's my representation? There isn't one, because smoking is a bad lifestyle choice. The same as overeating. Difference is, I don't see giant billboards everywhere broadcasting the virtues of blackened lungs and emphysema, encouraging dreadful habits that are incredibly harmful to a person's health by pretending obesity is some kind of protected identity class. Is demented. You're literally killing people by doing that. Obesity now causes more deaths and costs the NHS more money than smoking-related diseases. Notice how those lines crossed at around the same time body positivity became a thing, and fat shaming began being treated seriously. Call me callous, but I'd rather see people being offended over fat jokes than people suffering horrible illnesses and dying as a result of being fat. Yet according to them, I'm the bad person. And here's the venerable Queen. Yes, Queen! Someone with millions of devoted fans promoting a movement that will genuinely end up killing some of them. Dieting culture is a form of assault. Weight loss science is a manifestation of white supremacy. Fat phobia is a dog whistle for fascism. Ruinous intersectional clown world nonsense, platformed by major universities and media corporations. Obesity is responsible for far more deaths than COVID. Yet we've been under lockdown for months to protect the NHS. As Matthew Britton writes, given the precedent of the lockdown, isn't it now time to issue rationing cards to all those considered overweight? Surely this would be less of an infringement on the freedoms of the overweight than forcing them to stay indoors, parted from their nearest and dearest, unable to work, be properly educated, protest, or enjoy a healthy cultural life. Moreover, it would be targeted, meaning that the economic effects on the nation would be relatively tiny. Some might argue that such an intervention would be ineffective, but to me this indicates a lack of concern for the well-being of the overweight, as if their lives somehow didn't matter. In any case, eye-watering prison sentences could be used to deter others from dealing calories to the unentitled. Obviously that's tongue-in-cheek, but it's based on the same warped logic that's been used to justify endless lockdowns. In Wales, you can legally drive to a McDonald's to eat crap, but if you drove there and parked your car and went off for a run, you'd be arrested as travel to exercise is illegal. How anyone can justify that is beyond the definition of insanity. One way to tell that Anthea Turner was on the right side of the argument was the caliber of the people who opposed her. Piers Morgan, the fake anti-woke grifter who demands everyone else follow COVID rules, while himself failing to wear a mask and jetting off to the Caribbean for a luxury private holiday. And Jess Phillips, the feminist Labour MP who laughed at soaring male suicide rates. If you're pissing off those kind of people, chances are you're doing something right. But Anthea made the fatal error of deleting her tweet and apologising to the mob. Big mistake. The mob doesn't do forgiveness. And despite the fact that, according to the left, cancel culture doesn't exist, don't expect to be seeing Anthea on your TV anytime soon, if ever again.